Talk about one of the most polarizing games in the Paper Mario series. Paper Mario 1 and 2, majority will tell you they're either good or great games. Sticker Star, most will tell you it's total crap. Color Splash is pretty deceptive. Most who haven't played it will tell you that it's just as bad as Sticker Star, but anyone who's actually played it, an actually valid opinion, are usually going to tell you that it's got its flaws but it's not a bad game, but it's nothing compared to the first two. Super Paper Mario though, it's literally split down the middle. People either love this game, or they hated it almost as much as Sticker Star. But I guess that's usually what happens when a series sees a change in gameplay, since this time around, we're playing a platformer with RPG elements and not the other way around. So based off the well-received Bowser platforming sections of the Thousand Year Door, the developers decided that hey, people like those, let's turn Mario into a platformer. Again, I mean, when you say it like that, it does sound kind of like backwards thinking for the Mario RPG series, but in its own right, it wasn't a bad idea for a spin-off for Paper Mario. Play as Mario, Peach, Bowser, and Luigi in a platforming game where you get stronger as you go through an interesting story. In fact, some may argue that it's the best Paper Mario story so far, all the while meeting all the weird and interesting characters you'd expect to see in an RPG. Starting to think Super Paper Mario is actually a godsend compared to what came after it, but a more action-oriented Paper Mario? That doesn't sound like such a bad thing. Well, yes and no. I always give credit to where it's deserved, and this game nails the presentation and story. I'm in the camp where many consider this to be the best story in the series. Mario and crew are in a foreign world after Bowser and Peach are forced to marry each other by the villainous Count Bleck, in an effort to produce the Chaos Heart and use it to destroy every world in existence. Sounds like the typical Saturday morning cartoon, but the writing and how fleshed out these new characters are, in my opinion, it's some of the best writing that has ever come out of the Mario series. Another thing I liked about this game was the 4 characters you could play as, and I sincerely hope that if we ever do get a true Return to Form Paper Mario game, they'll bring back this idea of multiple playable captain characters, yeah, that's what we'll call it. Just think about the possibilities in puzzles and combat. Don't see it for combat? Well, simple. Make it where each captain that is in play alters the partner's attack attribute. Ha! Boom, just solved True Paper Mario 3 from being stale. But getting back to Super Paper Mario, I did enjoy this gameplay to an extent. I think it has potential, just I feel it didn't utilize it to its highest potential. This game is easy, and I mean easy. Outside of the pit of 100 trials, there should never be a time in this game where you're sweating it with health. Like the final boss can be taken out in a few hits if you're leveled up enough, especially if you use the level up exploit by chaining points. Think the green shell 1-up trick but for experience. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it on your first playthrough either. Another change is that partners were replaced with pixels, which for many of them act as power-ups that Mario knew how to do normally on his own, like the hammer, the thinning ability, etc. And they just aren't the partners. I get what they were going for and why they had to do it this way. I mean, what function would partners have in the style that actually work right? But still, the pixels were a big downgrade. No personality and no charm to them whatsoever. But I think the biggest disappointment about this game is the world in Super Paper Mario, both in style and design. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some pretty cool places, such as the entirety of Chapter 2, and I think the underwear acting as video game hell was really creative and awesome. But even the best levels are held back because of one aspect, the 2D to 3D swap gameplay. I do think it has some potential because for the parts where it was used for puzzles, it was done pretty decent, but it was at a cost of making most of these stages feel very generic and forgettable since it's just a straight line in many cases. I can name and pinpoint areas and set pieces for the first 2 games like it's on the back of my hand. Here though, they blend in with each other and to me that's not really a good thing. Hell, even Color Splash has more memorable set pieces. For me, this is a game that I can enjoy and I've played through a few times, but I can't look past its flaws. And it's perfectly easy to see why people didn't like the game and not just because it was different. This game is a prime example of why I have a red and blue mixed rating for my title cards. I personally like it and can see past its flaws, but this game isn't for everyone, which is a shame because it could have been something special.